I'm Marlene Weisman, and I'm a visual artist. I do a lot of work with collage and mixed media, although mixed media is kind of a vague term these days. We are in TI Art Studios, which is in Gowanus, Brooklyn. It's actually the kind of the border between Gowanus, Brooklyn and Red Hook. And there's a lot of artists here, and it's a great environment. Well, first of all, I am an original New Yorker, and New York is such a part of my artistic vision and my history, and for another time I've worked in a lot of really cool with New York institutions, including the downtown music scene many years ago and Saturday Night Live. I was a graphic artist there, so New York is in my DNA. So I have to stay in New York, and I love being in Brooklyn. I was in one studio in another part of the neighborhood that got taken over by a real estate conglomerate, and a lot of us left. And then I was in another studio that was in another part of South Park Slope, and that got closed down. And then I was in a third studio that also during the pandemic. So when we were all Lysoling our groceries, I had to go find another studio. And as a collagist and a person who works with a lot of material, that was not an easy feat, but I did it. And now TI Art Studios, which was known around for a long time, I was lucky to find a studio here, and now I'm happily working in my inner sanctum. Okay. Some of my influences are the Dadaists and the Fluxus people and the pop artists. So items or visuals or things that came out of some of those movements really attract me. Those things all get processed in my work. And as a collagist, collage is like my inner monologue, and it's a mirror of my mind, as they just coined in the Jasper John show. So creating the Superdeeps series was like a revelation for me. The idea of taking 3D lenticular material and then figuring out removing the 3D parts of them and then replacing other parts with collage underneath. It's like a radical reinterpretation of the whole concept of collage, because collage is about different levels and different planes. And by making parts of my pieces 3D and parts of my pieces flat and intersecting them, it really gives a whole new definition to collage. But I noticed that some of the material was translucent, and that you could start seeing through the material. So that's how I started with these. And I decided I'm drawing by removing. I'm drawing by removing. And then what I do is start placing material, and I start seeing how the material will look underneath. So I start making collages, and some of the pieces I reveal windows in the material. So here is a finished Superdeep, and that was pasted underneath, and I number them to know what collage elements go on top of what other elements. I showed these on Instagram, and they're really fun because you don't really see the low-tech way I'm twirling them, but it really does showcase them and how they move. And what I love also about doing Superdeeps is that I'm taking this imagery that is very landscapes and pretty little florals and still lives and nature scenes and kittens and all kinds of things like that. And then what I'm doing is I'm scraping and drawing and removing those elements and then making them into a whole new abstract identity, like total transformation.